The Phantom Convoy, Soviet ghost trains and vanished passengers. In the cold heart of the Soviet Union, railways were arteries of empire, connecting vast distances, transporting goods, workers, and sometimes things never meant to see daylight. But among all the celebrated trains that sped across tundra and steppe, there are darker stories, rarely told, those of the phantom convoys, lost passengers, and chilling mysteries rumbling through the night. Imagine a winter's evening, 1978, somewhere near Novosibirsk. Rail workers pause in their duties as a rumble sweeps through the snow. A train approaches, but no schedule lists its arrival. The cars are old, gray, and unmarked. The windows are shadowed, the lights flicker with an unhealthy glow. As it passes, it seems impossibly long. Some say they glimpse pale faces pressed to the glass, others insist the cars are completely empty. When the last carriage vanishes into the night, silence falls, but the memory remains. These ghost trains, as Soviet folklore calls them, are said to run forgotten routes, tracks which official maps no longer list. Some say their origins trace to the darkest days of the Stalin era, when entire communities, prisoners, and enemies of the state were sent east, never to return. Families watched as loved ones boarded midnight convoys, vanishing from history. Of these trains, only rumors and scattered testimony survive. Railway records from those decades are full of anomalies. Trains marked as cargo are found filled with people. Destinations are listed as phantom towns. Some conductors, decades after the Gulag system disintegrated, speak of terrifying cargo, locked cars where screams echoed, and where guards forbade anyone to approach after dark. But the ghost trains aren't just history, they're the roots of persistent Soviet legends. Along the remote lines of Siberia, villagers and workers claim to still see them. Sometimes, near ruined depots, an engine will appear, its whistle eerily mournful, its cars lit by a dim interior glow. The temperature drops. Locals feel an inexplicable urge to leave the area at once. There's the legend of the Red Star Convoy, a train rumored to have departed in 1952 with more than 200 political prisoners. It never arrived. Secret police closed the investigation. But, for years afterward, night watchmen at nearby stations reported a spectral train, same number, same pattern, materializing briefly at midnight, only to vanish if approached. Urban explorers in the 21st century, armed with cameras and curiosity, claim to have penetrated abandoned sidings and found untouched train cars, dusted with frost. Some have documented boarded-up wagons containing moldering suitcases, Soviet uniforms, faded photos of families, and, most chilling, a whole car full of shoes, all children's sizes. Stories multiply. A maintenance worker recalls tracking an electrical short along a condemned tunnel, hearing old station announcements on a dead loudspeaker, and catching glimpses of figures waiting on a pitch-black platform. Kneeling to fix the wires, he found a stamped train ticket dated 30 years earlier, departed, but never officially arrived. Ghost trains bleed into personal nightmares. Descendants of Gulag survivors sometimes recount family legends of telegrams received long after the disaster, reading only, "I am alive. Do not try to find me." Others speak of inherited dreams, boarding a crowded, freezing train, the sound of doors locking, then nothing but endless blackness. By the late Soviet period, railway staff learned not to ask questions. Some claim the trains were used by the KGB for shadowy operations, transporting evidence, witnesses, sometimes entire populations eastward for secret research or experiments. Off-duty guards drank heavily on nights when a manifest didn't match the passenger count, haunted by the certainty that not everyone aboard was still alive. Paranormal researchers have attempted to find scientific explanations. Magnetic anomalies, they suggest, might cause electrical effects misinterpreted as ghostly. Some theorize mass psychological reactions to trauma among railway communities. But for locals who grew up near rail yards and remote halts, the answer is simpler: the ghosts of the Soviet trains are real, and some of the dead never truly disembarked. Investigations today stumble upon locked archives, classified slots on official transit ledgers, and warnings to leave well enough alone. Yet the legends persist. New sightings, mysterious telegrams, and chilling testimonies accumulate. Ghost trains have become part of Russia's post-Soviet horror canon, crowding documentaries, novels, and social media posts that churn with speculation. Is it collective memory, guilt, or the echo of something supernatural buried with the tracks? Each sighting, each mysterious journey, suggests the Soviet night still holds secrets no demolition crew can erase. And on winter evenings, as the wind howls down deserted lines, some swear they hear the distant wail of a train that should not exist, carrying the voices of the vanished, demanding to be remembered. If you one day travel the Russian rails, and midnight finds you on a lonely platform, listen. You just might hear the thunder of wheels, the flicker of spectral lights, and the whisper of histories denied. Are they legends built on regret, or portals to a forgotten world where every train has its ghosts?